Okay, take two. So welcome back to a long episode of what's been going on. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it, say it, anything. I wanted to do a video like this just because of a lot of different reasons. People have been asking us what's been going on. So some people know only to a certain extent what's been going on. Some people don't know anything that's going on. Some people know the full-fledged story. This video is kind of like, hey, this is what's been up. Also, this is definitely, like, let's put a disclaimer in here. This video is definitely not a fucking handout. This is not a, oh, feel sorry for me. This is our intention of a video is hopefully young people that see this do not do the same mistakes that we did. Because God knows there's been a lot of them. So a couple like watch outs, couple hey heads ups, and then probably a lot of you that will be saying like, what the fuck were you thinking? And honestly, I sit back and I ask myself the same questions. Through my journey too, our journey, there has been people that have said, no, don't do that, idiot. And what did we do? We did it anyway, because what we thought was best for us at that time. So you did with what you could do with the time that you were given. I don't know if I had that right, but anyways, hindsight's 2020. You do the best of your abilities at the time that is presented. So by any means, this is not a freaking handout. This is not a, oh, pity me. This is not anything like this. This is just simply curing everybody's curiosity that's been very curious, which I appreciate. Like, I do appreciate people being curious about what's going on. People can say nosy. That's fine too. I mean, let's all admit we're all pretty freaking nosy. But mainly this is what me and Jesse wanted to do for a, like, just a heads up. Don't do the shit that we did. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a long ride, a long vlog. I've had people also tell me that I needed to write a book about this, but I am no author. So yeah, we're going to do what I do best. And that's not even that great. So anyways, so buckle up, get you a drink, get you some tea, because you know the tea's going to be spilling. Let me just say, for starters, I appreciate people who's going to watch this all the way through. I appreciate the people who's going to, I don't know, just appreciate this. Like, because I really hope people that we know, people that we don't know, will literally sit here and say, okay, I remember that Christina girl telling me not to do this, so I don't want to do this. So, get you a drink and snuggle on in, because it's going to be a long one. I'm gonna take a times the outsy, so you go ahead, you get that drink. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I'm Christina. I'm Christina Reese. Me and my husband Jesse have been married for almost 7 years. 7 years in February. We've had a long, hard road in our marriage. But the last 2 years in our life has probably been the hardest. And yeah. So let's start with very first things first is, we had a house. Everybody knows we had a house in Martinsburg. Loved it. I loved that house. Loved it. We had so many great parties there. Basically, we were living on top of the world. And little did we know our world was going to come crashing down. So, the end of 2022, Jesse was really, I would say, depressed. He was really anxiously depressed. He wanted to go. He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave everybody behind. He wanted to just get out. And I too shared this feeling. There was a lot going on that did not need to be going on. And we were basically running away from our problems. So we agreed to move out of the state. So our first thought was, can he transfer with his job? Now, through this video, I'm not going to mention jobs, names, people, anything like that, because I do not need any backlash from any of that. So I will just simply stick to job 1, job 2, job 3, job 415. 15. Anyways. So we had it in plan, in motion. It's been in talks for a good long while. We thought about it. We were going to move. And he got the transfer, and we were good. We even got in touch with our realtor. We were selling our house. We were going to North Carolina. I've lived in North Carolina before. I've lived there for about, I'd say, 3 years maybe. So we were moving to North Carolina. Job transfer and everything went through. Basically, we were good. We were good to go. So, I don't know dates, of course, but let's say, okay, my realtor was coming on Monday, okay, of that following week to take pictures of our house so she can post them online to sell our house. So Jesse had got this offer that he was so happy to receive, and I was happy to receive it with him. That is, like, I don't know if anybody's seen or remember, a long time on Facebook, I posted a thing, like, because he was, like, calling me nonstop, like, I can't make this decision without you, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this was that decision. Basically, he got a hell of an offer of being, not just a blaster, but being a site supervisor over his company. And that was great news. Who am I as a wife to tell him no? First of all, who am I as a wife and a lover to tell him I don't want him to succeed in life? Like, who am I to do that? I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm down to follow my man, like, as long as he keeps me happy, I'm happy, basically. So he got the call to go to Miami, Florida. So that call was made on, and I don't remember if it was a Thursday night or a Friday night. I really want to say it was a Friday night, but either a Thursday night or a Friday night prior to that Monday that our realtor was going to come and take pictures of our house anyway. So he got that call, and of course we were, he said, I gotta talk to my wife about it first, obviously, blah, blah, blah. He was not given long enough to think about this. We were not given long enough to think about this. Yes, we were going to move to North Carolina, but I mean, Florida was even farther away. Even bigger move than I anticipated and wanted initially. So, like I said, Thursday night or Friday night, he had to give them an answer that Thursday night or Friday night. We had no time to think about any of this. So we went with it, and this is where you can take a tally of red flags, because there's going to be quite a few of them. Red flag number 1 is not having enough time to think about moving to a state farther away than what you were already thinking about moving to. So so he had to make that decision. And remember, my realtor was coming that Monday to take pictures of the house. He made that decision about, yes, he would accept the offer and the position. Moving on. He said, well, the company said, you need to be down there Monday morning. What? Let me repeat that. Monday morning. That Thursday, Friday, he got job offer. He was supposed to be down there Monday morning, or Monday. No. Red flag number 2. So as you can know, that's big. That's huge. So of course, what did he do? He had to leave, but of course, he's like, no, I can't be there Monday. I have to help my wife with the house of getting pictures ready. So he didn't leave Monday. He left Tuesday. So we had no time to think about this whatsoever, and I had just gotten my life back with him. For those who've known too, I was a dispatcher for damn near 3 years, and I never seen my husband. I mean, rarely. My family can even attest to this. I'm not saying I hated my job as a dispatcher, but it damn near cost up my marriage, and I respect for those people. Never again. I had just gotten my life back to with him, where I was seeing him at night. I was having dinner with him at night. You know, we're cuddling on the freaking couches on Sunday to watch movies, and you know, I finally got my life back with my husband, and I have to say goodbye to him. You know, for God knows however long, because I mean, I can't go nowhere until the house sells. What the fuck am I gonna do? So, anyways, they came, took pictures of the house, and he left that Tuesday morning. I cried, of course, because my man was walking out the house. Anyways, that was hard. It really was. And Lord, did I not understand how hard it would have been the next couple of fucking months. Sorry, it's like hard to relive that pain that I felt. Anyways, so over the next course of a couple months, because we officially sold our house in March of 2023. So how the hell are we going to find a house when I'm here in West Virginia and he's down there in Florida? Side note, if you know Jesse really well, Jesse's like biggest fear is being alone. He absolutely cannot be alone, period. He will not even, I mean, he will in emergency cases, emergency cases. But even like going to the grocery store, he will not go alone. Like, you're lucky to get him in the car ride to go to work and back from work alone. You cannot get this man to do anything alone. So yeah, him living in a hotel for however questionable months alone without me or anybody but, you know, me, like, whatever, I had to have faith. He had to have faith. So, here we go. So he's in Florida, I'm up here. I had to literally do this house by myself. I had to, I mean, like, my realtor, you know, always give me a heads up, you know, like, hey, you know, like, I have a showing for tonight, blah, 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 you know, because I had to get 4 dogs and 2 cats out of that house, too, because I don't trust people with my dogs or my cats, so, and my work was really understanding at this time. I am going to mention I did work at Cornerstone. You guys know that from my Facebook. I loved working at Cornerstone. It was the best job I've ever had in my life. And so my job understood, like, they were very, very, very welcoming with all of this. You know, absolutely go home. I only lived like 5 minutes from the place anyway. Go ahead, blah, blah, blah. I had, you know, surprise showings here and there too. Trying to get the dogs and the cats in a 4Runner for a couple hours at a time was not fun, and it was stressful, and it got to me. And of course, not fun. I became very depressed because my husband's not here. Yeah, so. Then it came to a time where he's looking for houses too down there. So imagine that. Your spouse is down in a state 16 hours away, just on a drive, 16 plus hours away, looking at a house, and you're trying to look at a house that you can try to envision in through a phone. It's not cool. So he's down there, he meets with a realtor, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm sorry, he talks with the realtor and, you know, goes for it. I'll get into that. And I'm up here trying to sell the house. Well, the house sells. The house sells pretty quickly, which is great. That just means that it's just more pressure for us to find a house down there. So let's fast forward to him down there with a realtor. I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to mention companies or anything like that. We got recommended this realtor. Well, not this realtor. I would say the company, like the realtor company. This realtor, though, was like off the fucking rocks. I mean, she was cool, whatever, but here comes red flag number fucking 3. Let's just throw this out there. We did not meet our realtor face to face, like hand in hand, like did not meet her until the day we signed on our house. Let me repeat that. We did not meet our realtor till the day we signed on the house that we bought down in Florida. So you're probably asking yourself right now, how did you look at houses? Yeah, how did we look at houses? We were entrusted with codes and keys and everything like that from a realtor to go and check out ourselves. I knew it. We both knew it. We were like, this is fucking odd. This is really fucking weird. But whatever. I don't know. Whatever. So I flew down to back up. So I flew down to Florida to see him for the first time in February. So this was my first initial time going to Florida and checking things out while I was there, trying to look at houses while I was there. Yeah, and it was fine. I mean, I'm gonna get a little detailed here too. Like, it fucking sucks. I'm on my period and shit like that, right? Can't really go to the beach because I don't like, blood sharks don't match, So, yeah. So went down there, scrounged around a little bit, had a good time, blah blah blah. It was still heartbreaking, because I didn't want to come back home. I wanted to be down there with my husband. Had a plane ride. When I come home, I don't remember who picked me up. I don't know if it was my dad. I think it was my dad who picked me up. I was not okay. I was not okay. I was, so fucking sick and, cramping and, bleeding so fucking much. I was just not okay. So, I went past the official 7-day mark of a woman's period, and I called my doctor, and I was like, I am still on my period. What the fuck is going on? Give me something to stop it, because this is not okay. And she's like, yeah, I'll give you something to stop it. Not a big deal, but do something first for me and take a pregnancy test. Okay, it didn't even cross my mind, but okay. So, took a pregnancy test, and I couldn't even pee on it for a second before it lit up positive. And of course, the first thing that goes through your head is excitement. And then horror comes in afterwards. So off I go to the emergency room for my second miscarriage. So anyways, then my husband has to come up because I lose my shit. And my husband has to come up. And I'm like, it was around our anniversary, so what a fucking anniversary gift. So anyways, he comes up, and, at first they thought I had to have a D&C, and turns out I didn't. I passed the baby by myself. And God, I would never want to wish that on anybody, because Jesus Christ, that feeling is just so fucking morbid. So anyways, here I am, second miscarriage, and even more depressed. So anyways, moving on. Hang on. So anyways, moving on to anyways, he's down there. He's starting to get depressed himself too, because he's tired of living in a freaking hotel. I'm tired of him living in a hotel, so I could imagine, what he's physically going through. So yeah, so our house officially sells, so I have to pack up the entire house by myself. Which isn't bad. I've moved my entire life. I know how to pack. I know how to throw some shit together. It wasn't terrible, but I had to do it all by myself. I had to do everything by myself because, my husband is 16 plus hours away. So yeah, that was fun. Turns out I forgot half of my cupboards, half of my cabinets, because if anybody's been in that kitchen, I have these tiny, small ass fucking cabinets above my bigger cabinets, and I don't know why, but apparently I missed all those. And at the end of the when we moved out officially, like, and everybody was going through the whole house, nobody seemed to check for those, including myself. But anyways, mad about that. Anyways, so anyways, yeah, the house sold. We need to be out by a certain time, so Jesse had to fly back up, and of course, because he has to pack his freaking building. So we had people over, blah blah blah. We packed up a U-Haul, and now we're gonna ride it back down to Florida. Okay, and of course, we did not have a house yet, and he works in Miami, Florida. So I said, we both agreed the best place for a storage unit is in Miami, because at least it's close to his work, and you know, we'll go from there. That storage unit was the most expensive I've ever heard in my life. For a 10 by 20 unit, it was $400+ a month. I had no other choice. I had to do it. But I didn't pay for a damn thing because the first month was for free. So anyways, we put our stuff in the storage unit. I stayed there for a couple of days. I flew back home because I still had animals to attend to up here. Well, mind you, going through this whole process of selling my house and he's trying to pick out a house, I should have put my foot down at this very moment. And I asked Jesse, like, I'll tell him that to his face too, and he regrets it still to this day too. I had the idea in my head, and I should have followed through with it. Yes, we had some debt. We had some credit card debt, and we had a couple loans in debt, but I should have took the money that we had from the house and put it on a camper. We should have bought and I should have traded in my 4Runner in for a truck, and we should have got a camper, because I had picked out the campground. The campground allowed up to 4 dogs. Perfect. And it was 15 minutes away from work. I should have put my foot down right then and there and said we should have got a fucking camper. Now, mind you, when the house sold, we had eyes on the house that we have, okay? So I was thinking about a month of us not having a home. Well, that month I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and move everybody down there, and I will board my animals for the month. You know, to board 4 dogs and 2 cats, the lowest one for a month, the lowest one I can find was 10 grand. 10 grand for 6 animals for a month. Ain't nobody affording that shit. So I freak out. So at the time, my mom was preparing for a major back surgery and neck surgery that she was having. So it kind of worked out. So I moved in with my mom and dad for a couple, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. Because it helped out, you know, because my dad going back and forth to work, mom being down, you know, so it worked out. So I'm grateful for it. But anyway, so between that time frame, that's where it was. I quit my job at this point because I was able to quit my job at this point, and now I'm just waiting to go to closing on the house that we picked out in Florida. Mind you, our realtor asked, how much did you want to spend for a house? Well, he was thinking, you know, like up to $300,000, because that's what we could afford. Now you're probably thinking, Christina, what were you going to do for a job? Let me just throw that in here too. So Jesse's company offered me a job to be the office manager for his site. And it came with a hell of a fucking pay raise for me too. Again, red flag 452. I should have had it in writing. Again, I had a job offer making more money than I can imagine. I should have had it in writing. So everything's kosher. I got a job lined up. He's got a job lined up. We're good. The houses in Miami, if you can imagine, were like $500,000 to $1 million homes. I don't give a fuck how rich we ever get in our lives. I do not want a house payment our house that costs that much. Fuck that. First and foremost. So no. So it took us 2 hours away from Miami to find a house. 2 hours. One way. 2 hours one way for Jesse and I to get to work. Whatever. We wanted to be together. We wanted a house. We wanted to be together again. We were tired of waiting and everything, so we wanted to be together right now and then. We didn't care. So, yeah. So anyway, so Jesse fought me on the camper idea. So that crashed and burned. My boss at Cornerstone was even like, you should have this job opportunity in writing. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But what did I do? Nothing. Because how do I ask for that? How do I approach asking that? I don't know. Anyways, now I know. But anyways, so here we are, officially coming up on our closing date. Okay, this is red flag number 552. Okay, coming up on our closing date. Back up. We have this house. Okay, we put an offer. They accepted our offer. Great. This house was owned by an older couple. So the house has been sitting for a while because the owner's husband had passed away. So they were selling it because it was their second home. A second home, or if they moved in with their kids, whatever. Anyways, it was no longer needed. That's why they're selling it. Came across this house. Yes, it's been sitting for a while. That's okay. I understand older couples, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. That didn't bother me. So coming up on this house with everything, you put in an offer in the house and everything starts to fall into place. So, walk around it, we notice that there is a hole in the roof. Well, not in the roof. It was like the side of the roof. Like, here's the wall, and then like the side of the roof. I don't know what that's called. Anyways, where there was a fucking man-eating hole. And, yeah, we didn't know how bad it was until we had an inspection. Remember, folks, get an inspection for your house. It does not matter if it's required or not. Get an inspection. Okay, and I'm about to tell you another fucking tidbit. Red flag coming up here soon. So, okay, this hole has to be fixed clearly to my eye because I'm not buying a house with a fucking hole in it. Okay, so anyways, we have the inspection. The appraisal came through, everything else that comes through, the inspection's coming up. This guy inspects the house. Inspects the house. I don't know what the fuck he did, but he did not inspect that fucking house. Anyways, the only reason the hole in the roof got fixed is because we pointed it out. That hole was right over top of the electrical panel. So the only reason that it got fixed was because me and Jesse both pointed it out and we kept asking about it. This inspector did just a kind gesture, and don't ever fucking fall for this shit. Young people, first time home buyers, don't fall for this shit. And I wasn't even a first time home buyer, and I knew better. I knew in the pit of my stomach that this is not right. But what did I do? I went ahead with it anyway. Please, go ahead. It's fine. It's fine. I already know how stupid I am. Okay? I know. You learn. So, as a kind gesture, this inspection will be free, but you need to keep it on the down low because we don't do it for everybody. But this is a kind gesture. We're just going to give it to you for free. You don't have to pay for it. Bullshit. Do not, I repeat, do not ever have a free inspection. Don't fucking do it. I mean, I know how common sense that is, but like I just said, I knew it. I knew it from the moment it started. I knew that was wrong. I did it anyway. So do not fucking do it. Because the inspector didn't do shit. He didn't inspect shit. Anyways, what we thought was everything was fine except for the fucking hole in the wall or the roof. Hey, it's going to be fixed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. It is going to be fixed, and it was fixed, so I will say that. Okay, moving on. So living up here, blah, blah, blah. Our closing date's getting really close. Okay, like 2 days close of our supposed closing date. Supposedly, we already have this figured out too. Hey, our closing date is such and such date. My wife's here in Virginia. I'm here in Florida. I need to know if it's okay if she signs up there and I sign down here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll send it up to the office up here, blah, blah, blah. Not a big deal. I mean, I feel like that is a case that could happen, but if for our case, it did not happen. So Jesse calls 2 days before we go to closing. Hey, I haven't heard anything. Are we still okay to close on such and such date? Girl's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we're all good on our end. You know, we're expecting you and Christina Reese to be here, blah, blah, blah. He said, what? What? What do you mean, me and my wife be here? Yeah, both of you have to be here. He said, yeah. He said, you know, my wife's going to sign up there while I'm down here. No, we need you both down here to sign because we both need a bear witness that you're going to sign. Well, no shit. That's why I was going to go to, like, a person to, like, witness that I'm signing. What? 2 days. Because our plan was once he signed on the house, once we both signed on the house, he was going to come get me and the dogs and my car and my four-wheelers, what I had left. Nope. I'm starting to freak out again. Freak the fuck out again. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if anything else can go wrong, boy, was I wrong then. But anyways, buckle up, buttercup, because a lot more is about to go wrong. Anyways, so I'm like freaking the fuck out, having a panic attack. I can't afford a plane ticket down there because money's fucking tight, you know, because we have all this fucking, like, we have to have so much down on this house, and I'm trying not to spend any money because we have to have so much down on this fucking house. So I'm freaking out. In comes my dad, my savior, you know, like my hero. And he buys me a plane ticket to go down there. So go down there. We close on this certain day. Everything's good to go. Like I said, we didn't meet that realtor until the day we signed. Whatever. Anyways, the house was fully furnished with old shit, which I love. I mean, I don't care. Give me all the free shit. I don't give a fuck. I'll go through it. I'll have a yard sale. I don't care. So all I seen was like, I can sell all this stuff. It's not a big deal. I mean, hell, if I sell it for, I mean, if you come to our yard sales, half the shit's fucking cheap and almost free anyway. So sure, I can have a yard sale with this. Not a big deal. It still didn't bother me even to this day to even have that kind of stuff. So it doesn't bother me. So I fly down there. We sign and we drive back home to come get my car, the four-wheeler, our animals. So we get them, everybody. You know, I say goodbye to my parents, you know, heartbreaking moment. And we drive. We finally get there, and, you know, of course our shit's in storage. So thank God there's a bed there. You know, and that's pretty nasty because it's like, where has that bed been? But anyways, thank God the bed was brand new. Like, it still had, like, wrappings and shit like that on it. So I was like, okay, thank God. Anyways, we packed a pair of sheets anyway. So it's like sleeping on a hotel bed in a sense. I get that. Anyways, we go to sleep. Anyways, next morning, you know, it's our first day. It's our first day at our new home. It's time to go through some shit. Well, as you guys know, Jesse can't go more than a month without some kind of accident. What does Jesse do? He cuts himself open with a piece of glass that's in a trash can that we were not warned about. So when I tell you that this house was full of stuff, it was, but it was also full of fucking trash. I should have got reimbursed for the fucking trash can I had, like the big ass dumpster that I had to have delivered to my house of all the fucking trash. So anyways, I mean, you can refer back to some of those videos because I have posted some of those videos too of how much trash and shit was in that house too. I didn't realize how much it was. And then of course, like, I'm also have to have a yard sale that week because that weekend we're going to get our stuff and I can't have two households full of shit in this house. I'm going to go, like, I'm just toaster bath. Like, okay. So Jesse cuts himself open. Like I said, on a piece of glass that was in the trash can that he lifted the trash bag up and he cut himself open. So glass that he did not know was in this trash bag. Mind you, I'm mid-shit on a fucking toilet. The only toilet in the house that works, okay? Because apparently the one toilet doesn't work, and we didn't know that. There's that free inspection again. Anyways, I'm mid-shit. I'm like, he's like, banging down the door, and I'm like, dude, I am mid-shit. Like, I have to pinch this shit off. So Anyways, like I'm still in the fucking toilet. He's opening the door, covered, like he's like, you know. Then cut myself open. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, I thought he was joking at first. I was like, what do you mean you cut yourself open? Anyway, I'm like, and he's like really cut himself open, and I'm like, oh my god. He's like, he thinks he's holding his guts in, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, he lifts open, like not even, there's no blood. Okay, like he gushed himself pretty good, but there's no blood. Overly freaking exaggerated men. Anyway, so I'm like, oh my god, I still got to take him to the emergency room because he does need some kind of either staples or stitches. So I am driving in an unfamiliar town trying to find a fucking an emergency room. Anyways, we found it. It's like 10 minutes down the road. We lived in Okeechobee, Florida. If you look at Florida, it's the biggest fucking lake in the middle of Florida. So middle state Florida. Okeechobee was an hour away from anything. Okeechobee had 2 grocery stores, a Marshall's, a Tractor Supply, and a flea market and a car dealership. Granted, I'm a little exaggerating, but seriously, there was nothing to do in that town. There was no skating rink, no bowling alleys, no theaters, no nothing. They had rodeos there, which I was never able to go. We'll get to that in a minute, but they had nothing to do there. Like, if you did not own a boat, why were you there? Because literally, like, all you do is fish there. We didn't own a fucking boat. I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. Anyways, so I take him to the emergency room. Anyways, he got staples. Moving on. So back to cleaning this house. I had to have a big ass dumpster put at our house because we filled up that fucking dumpster to the brim. Okay, and that was shit that I just couldn't sell. I had to throw away. So mind you, we're having a yard sale too. I'm not shitting you when I say like our yard sale prices are like so cheap they're almost free. It really was. So we had a decent yard sale. I mean, we had a decent freaking yard sale. It started with, you know, like really good prices all the way down to free at 12 o'clock because I got tired of it. So let me just say this, even with our good prices, and we got praised on how good our prices was. And they were like, I think you should raise the prices because I think you're asking too little for this shit. I didn't care because I was like, you know, I just want to get the shit going, you know? Let me tell you, we made more off of donation money than we did actual yard sale prices. Because like I said, at 12 o'clock, I was like, everything's free. Oh, are you serious? Are you serious? I was like, I'm not going to say no to donations, but everything's free. And we did. Generally everybody gave us some kind of donations for whatever they took. So, not bad. Like, I'm appreciative of that. Yeah, so here we are. Got rid of all the shit. Here comes the weekend where my U-Haul was scheduled for that weekend to go get my shit out of my storage unit because, mind you, I have to get this shit out of the storage unit before my month is up because I don't want to pay $400. Okay. So I call, or I'm sorry, I got a message on either Thursday or Friday. I feel like it was Friday. It was Friday. Text message saying, hey, your U-Haul order, I'm bashing U-Haul. Your U-Haul order was canceled. What the fuck you mean it's canceled? Like, I'm about to get my shit tomorrow. What the fuck you mean? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any places around you. We can't replace the truck with anything. What? Like, I need to get my shit out of this fucking storage unit. Like, I was pissed. I called. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you don't have anything anywhere else? And they were just straight up fucking rude to us. They canceled it and fucking basically hung up on us. Okay. Panic number 452 as well. Like, okay, so what the fuck are we gonna do? Thank God, you know, he's got a truck. He borrows a trailer from work. And I'm talking like, not like a freaking like trailers that you see down the road. I'm talking like a trailer that hauls heavy ass equipment. Okay? How the fuck am I going to get myself on here? But whatever, it worked. Also, along with people that he works with, they got their truck and a trailer. So we had 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and my SUV. We did get everything on those 2 trailers and in my SUV, with the exception of us going on that Sunday to picking up whatever else could fit out in our truck and my SUV. So we got out in time, so thank God. Florida's known for rain. You know, like, rain. It took us, mind you, Miami, Okeechobee, 2 hour difference. 2 hours. 2 hours. It fucking rained the whole way home. No break. No break. It rained the whole way home. Apart from our shit getting ruined in the move because of how it was packed in that truck. And the rain that came from the rain. Like, half of my shit was already fucked up. I lost a lot of stuff in this move just going down. I mean, I was impressed with how much I could save, but you know, like my desk, like obviously I'm still going to use the desk, but it was ruined. So anyways, it torrential. I'm talking like torrential fucking downpour. Like, I mean, like rain. Rain. Fucking wonderful. Wonderful. Keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming. So, okay, we get to the house. It stops raining once we get to the house. Anyways, and, you know, everybody throws the shit in the garage. Okay, cool. I believe I showed some videos about that, too. Okay, fine, cool. Moving on to now the house is completely... we realized that the house was infested with a lot of bugs. And I want to call them flying ants because they literally look like ants with wings. And there was an infestation in our laundry room with them. And they were everywhere. And I don't know how that house passed a termite inspection because bullshit. 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 It did not pass a freaking termite inspection. I know it didn't because there was clear termite damage. Anyways, red flag number 452,000. I don't fucking know what we're on. So, I had to call a pest control guy because also too, fleas and ticks and fire ants. I don't want those on my dogs. Fire ants can like be horrendous for dogs. So I have this pest control guy, which this pest control company was fucking amazing. I did love them. I love them a lot. He did my whole house. He basically said, you know, like, yes, there was once upon a time your house was infested with bugs, but now it's not anymore because I believe he pushed them all out, basically. With an occasional here and there, like, there was a lot of bugs. There was a lot of bugs. I mean, like I said, it calmed down, of course, once we moved in and got everything moving and flowing and shit, but it was infested bugs. Also, Florida, hot as shit, our AC was broken. Yep, our AC was broken. Thank God it wasn't as broke as I thought it was. Basically, there was just a dead frog that was stuck in the little condensation pipe thingy. So, wasn't broken. AC worked fine after that. After we had a good cleaned out service, blah, blah, blah. So, everything's fine. So let's move on to, like, you know, we're moving in slowly. I'm adjusting with the dogs and stuff like that, blah, blah. To where my world comes crumbling down. Of course, you know, I didn't want to start my job right away because I wanted to settle, you know, get settled in. I also mainly wanted to settle in with my dogs because it's a big change for them too. Come to find out, I met with the people down, you know, at his job, for me to start. Everything was in order. Everything was right. You know, here I'm going to start, blah, blah, blah. Until I get the call of, hey, so the job got ripped away from you basically because it got turned into some fancy dancy shit where I needed like fucking degrees. I'm like, I can do half the shit they're asking for just because of how I'm experienced in all of this. So the job got ripped away from me, and that's when it all come crumbling down because I based a house off of me and his salary that wasn't for sure. And I know you're thinking, Christina, why the fuck would you do that? I asked myself the same thing. I even asked myself the same thing, and I still ignored it. So, yeah. Moving on to, so yeah, our world was crumbling down because, of course, we were running low on funds. You know, and I had just paid off my credit cards, of course, for this house to go through. And I closed majority of them so I wouldn't rack them up again, but the ones that I didn't want to close out eventually got racked out again, because I will tell you that time will tell, basically. I'll tell you that here soon. So yeah, so here comes our electrical panel being installed, right? You know, because it wasn't done like they said it was going to be done before closing. It was done eventually. So they patched up the hole, they redid everything, cool, calm, cool, collected, whatever. We had a whole new electrical panel installed, all up to date, everything like that. It was freaking great. The electrician that was doing it was amazing too. Kudos to him. He said we would be down for most of the day. Okay, he would have us back up and running before 4 o'clock that day. It was more harder for him, basically. So it took 2 days. We were out of power for 2 days. 2 days. I had just went grocery shopping, so I had 2 refrigerators bad of stuff. He made it right. I think he gave us like $200 to go get groceries again, because he told me one thing and it wasn't. So I do appreciate him for doing that. He saved us there. But of course, you know, we had to go and get an AC unit for the room for my dogs and us to at least stay cool, because it's fucking hot in Florida. I don't know what money we had, but apparently I scrounged it up somehow and we got an AC unit. So anyways, yeah. Okay, so of course I have to start immediately looking for a job, and this is where I'm going to tell you where I am blown away, and you might call me a little rich bitch all you fucking want. I don't care. To me, it was very shocking. It was very degrading to me, and I just couldn't swallow the pill. So I was applying everywhere because I need a job. I need a job like now, like yesterday. So I was applying to jobs. I got offered a job back in retail, and if you know me, I don't work retail. I worked my retail back in my younger days, and I got out for a reason. I did not want to go back. But I mean, I had to have a job. So I got offered a job, and like the second I walked through the door, apparently they liked me so much, but they didn't. I went in for a cashier position and got immediately offered an assistant manager. And I'm like, okay, but how much are we talking here? Mind you, I'm going to throw this out here. When I left from West Virginia, I was making $21 an hour. That was the most money I've ever made in my life for doing what I was doing. So when she asked me to be an assistant manager, I'm thinking, okay, you know, my number is at least $18 to $21, right? The amount of money they wanted to give me was, I shit you not, $15 an hour for an assistant manager position. So that was a big pill for me to swallow, and I didn't accept it. I was stupid, but I didn't accept it because I was like, no, I'm worth more than that. I should have, but whatever. Hey, then push came to shove, and I had to find a job like now. I did. I found a job, you know, down the road. I found a job at a lawn care company, and I didn't really care what I was doing as long as it was some kind of office work, what I'm used to. I've been in office, some kind of office person for the last 8-9 years of my life. It's what I'm good at. Great. I got the job, and I had to accept whatever was offered to me. I think they offered $15 for me there as well. It is what it is. I had to do what I had to do. I worked there for a day, so 8 hours, and then an hour of the next day, if that. Yeah. Mind you, Jesse thought he was going to not live the hotel life anymore. He thought wrong. He was still like living out his weeks, at least, in Miami, and he'd come home on the weekends. So of course, you know, his side is miserable too. And I'm home alone. So yeah, miserable too. So I got the job. Like I said, I worked my whole first day. It was fine. It was, you know, you're new. It's fine. I've been the new girl a lot. So, they had kittens. And if you know me, I am a huge animal person. I'll do anything for any animal I can see. So they had a bunch of kittens and a mama cat. The kittens, I know cats. If anything, I know cats. I've literally raised cats where you had to bottle feed them and make them go to the bathroom. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Look at these cats, and I'm like, yeah, they're clearly enough. They're clearly okay to be away from mom. So I ask, I'm like, are any of these cats called for, like taken, accounted for? Somebody else vouched for them? No, none of them were taken for. Oh, well, except for this white cat out here. Somebody wants him, but they haven't taken him. And if he hasn't claimed him by the end of the day, then, I'd say he's up for grabs. I'm like, okay. I said, I plan to take it on all of them. And they're like, you're going to take them all? I'm like, yeah. I said, I think it'd be a better home for them. Basically, being outside didn't bother me. What bothered me was the lack of education people have. Their living conditions were, like I said, outside didn't bother me. Being in, like I said, the lawn care place, they were dirty. They were laying in oil and gas, and I just, no. So it wasn't happening for me. I was even going to take the mama cat, but they wanted the cat around the shop for mice and shit like that. So the boss did say the mama cat was taken for because after she completely weaned these kittens off, she was going to have her taken to get her fixed. Okay, cool. So I was going to take all these kittens. And they're like, oh my God, I shit you not, praising me. I was like, I was a wonderful person. You're so nice for taking this. You're so kind, blah, 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 all this shit. I had this coworker, because I asked for a box. Keep in mind this fucking box. I asked for a box, of course, to take all these kittens home. So the coworker, before I left, we got a box. Put all the kittens in it. She literally put every single, I didn't even touch one of these kittens. She wanted to put every single one of these cats because she wanted to say goodbye to them. Put all these cats into this box for me. I put them in the car, went home. Cool. It took me forever to convince Jesse not to have one, not to keep one. Of course, he's at work for the week. He's not home. I shit you not, I had every one of those kittens home the next day. So, on my lunch break the next day, all of them were going to come and take the kitten home to their new home. I went back to work the next day. I was the absolute shit person. I gotta make sure I say. I was the most shittiest person in the world to these people. I was called everything under the sun. I was an absolute menace, basically taking these kittens away from their mother. And basically that the mom was so depressed because her kittens were taken away from her. And yeah, I'm sure the mom had, moms, like everybody, every mom, has some form of, oh, I'm sad, but she will live to learn without them. It's fine. She will be fine. I promise you that she will be fine. I was, like I said, I was horrid for taking these kittens. That was the first 5 minutes of me walking through the door. I had this one other coworker in my face yelling at me, basically saying that I took this one cat that this one guy wanted and I needed to bring him back now. I said, I can't do that. I said, I found them all a home. Well, you need to unfind them a home because blah, blah, blah. This cat was already taken for. I told you that, blah, blah. She was in my face and I'm like, took all I got not to fucking punch the bitch. So I'm like, okay. The other coworker that brought me the box and packed up all these kittens, she come in through the door and I said, good morning. After I got my ass handed to me by this other person. And she's like, that box yesterday, we need it back because we're moving. What? What? You're telling me you want a box. You're mad because of a box you gave to me to take these kittens home. Now you want this box that's full of cat shit and cat piss because these cats had nowhere to go, of course. You know, I kept them locked in a bathroom with, towels and blankets and shit like that to keep them away from my cats. Because I don't know if they're ill or anything like that. I don't need my cats being ill or anything. So I'm like, I don't, fleas, anything like that. Like, I don't need that right now. So, like, I kept them all in the box, of course, with towels and blankets and shit like that. So, mind you, they're not litter box trained either, so it's like, I have a litter box in there for them, but they were also going in the box too, so yeah, I threw the box away. I'm not, they needed that box back because they were moving. At this point, I'm already texting Jesse, like, I'm quitting, I'm gonna walk out. Mind you, my boss is not there yet. These are just the two stupid fucking coworkers I had. So Jesse's like, fucking leave. So okay. I clock out. I tell this one girl that was decently, I said, I'm going to leave. I said, I want to go get this cat and this box that everybody so wants back. She's like, oh, okay. She even knew. She was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm be honest with you. I'm not going to come back. She was like, I understand. Okay. Anyways, I left. I got home. I did my duty. I called. No answer. I left a voicemail. No response. I texted my so-called boss. No response. I did everything. I called, texted, left a voicemail, everything. You don't want to talk to me? Fuck you. Fine. So, she doesn't even call me until like that night. So, at this point, I think I had like 2 cats already gone to a home, and I had like 3 more left. The white one was included. And I'm in the middle of giving them a bath, because I let them, kind of cure for 24 hours, to get used to the surroundings, get used to not having mom. So I was in the process of giving this white one a bath, and I get a call. And the call was the coworker that was fighting me over the box. And she calls me and she threatens me and she's harassing me at this point. And she's saying, I'm just the boss, this boss lady, she wants all the cats back. You had no right taking those cats and blah, blah, blah. I just think it's a bad idea. You need to bring all the cats home. You said you were going to bring the one cat back and you're not. I just want, she just wants them all back and blah, blah, blah. She's threatening me. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to bring the cats back. And she's like, I think that's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. You can take it up with her. Okay, fine. If she decides to call me, I'll take it up with her. But at this point, you gave me permission to have these cats. I told them I was going to adopt them all. They are my cats now. So I hang up on her. I'm scared out of my mind because my husband is not, he's far away. He's 2 hours away from me. He can't be here in a jiff. And I'm like, why did she call my number? Why did the coworker call my number? I'm thinking like this boss, this bitch fucking had this girl do her dirty work for her. Like, no. So, I am scared, of course, and I had to involve the cops. So I called the cops and I was speaking to the dispatcher and she was like, they are full on harassing you and threatening you. This is going to result in a police report and I'm going to send an officer out to you right away. She did. So I got a cop to my door and I bring her in and like she knows I'm scared of shit. And she's like, what's going on? And I tell her everything and she's like, over some fucking cats? And I'm like, over some fucking cats. So she's like, well, let me go up there and see what's going on. I said, okay. So anyway, so she goes up there and she comes back and she's walking back to the door and she's like, I'm sorry. She said, I have to, she said, they all are your cats. She said, but according to them, the one guy had dibs on the white cat. So she's like, that's all I'm going to take back is the white cat. And I'm like, well, what if he doesn't take her? She's like, you call me tomorrow. He has 24 hours to remove the cat from the premises, basically. And I never did. I should have. Shame on me. I should have. But I just wanted to be done. So, of course, I started crying because I lost the cat back to these fucking horrid people. And like the cop was even like crying with me. She's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. You know, it's okay. It is what it is. Like, it has to be what it has to be. At least I found the other ones a home. You know, at least I gave them a better life. So anyways, then I got to thinking, and I got really scared. And I'm like, because apparently when she got there, the cop got there to the business, the boss had just walked in, and she said she was very confused. She didn't know what was going on. So anyways, after the cop left, I get a call from this boss. I didn't answer it. Fuck you. Why do I need to answer your phone call right now? No. So, what else? Oh yeah, she calls me twice. I didn't answer. Finally, she texts me this long book. You know, I'm sorry, what the fuck is going on? I'm just trying to understand what's going on. So I text her back this book because I don't want to talk to you. So I text her back this book, and she is in awe. She truly says, I did not know any of this happened. The thing I do is, you weren't there. There's a cop in my face about some fucking cats. What the hell was going on? She had no clue what was going on. And then I got even more scared because I'm like, if you didn't know what was going on, how the fuck did she get my number? If I knew what I knew now, I should have fucking sued that place or her or somebody. I should have fucking sued them. So I said, after we made amends or whatever, and I said, I have to ask. It's my right to know. I said, how did she get my phone number? She didn't hide anything. She said she went into my office and pulled your paperwork. You mean to tell me she pulled my paperwork that had all of my personal information on it, where I lived, my social security number, my phone number? What? What? I'm nervous for my social security number, my identity. And then also where I live with my husband not even around. Yeah, I have boom boom sticks and a German Shepherd, but I mean, I don't want to be put in this predicament. So, anyways, that ended, and for the next couple of days, like for 1 or 2 days, I had this black truck up and down my neighborhood, and I was like, it's that fucking bitch, I know it is. So anyways, Jesse was home at this point, and he witnessed the black truck up and down the thing. He was going to stop him next time, but they didn't want to stop and talk, so. Anyways, so that crashed and burned. So on to my next job. I got another job right down the road. And this was a refrigeration company. And I was there for about a month and a couple weeks maybe. I'm not sure. It was okay. I made a friend. You know, she was awesome. I still talk to her to this day. Or maybe not talk to her, but, you know, she's on my Facebook kind of thing. You know, we would talk shit about this place all the time because of how stupid it was ran. Anyways, I mean, I'm telling you to the point where it was so stupid, like, they had me counting fucking zip ties. Fucking zip ties. Not packs of zip ties. Like, like, 1, 2 zip ties. Whatever. It was a paycheck. Whatever. Easy. Whatever. Moving on. Well, I never met the owner because the owner also did work in other states. Okay, cool. Mind you, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing half the time here. I really don't. I really, really don't. Like, if she wasn't there, like, if my coworker wasn't there, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. So anyways, the big guy comes home. Basically sums it up that he doesn't like how this place is being ran. And he's mad. He's big mad. He needs a fucking cape. Okay? Because he's super mad at this point. My sister-in-law and my niece had come down. And then my mother had come down a couple days later. So I had requested off to be off for not a full week, but most likely a week. And cool. Everything's fine. So I'm off for a week. I don't know what jobs are going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on when I come back to work. This guy's a dick anyway, but whatever. So I come back to understand that my coworker is like deathly ill. And I'm like, oh my God. But without her, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I didn't work for the past week. And I find out that she is definitely ill, you know, like, and I'm like, and I'm being thrown into this position, and I'm like, I don't even know how to do my job, let alone her job. I'm doing the best I can do. Because last month you had me counting fucking zip ties. So, anyways, so he gets mad at this job that I have no idea what's going on. I don't even know what it was about. It was some kind of job because he sent people there, and it wasn't, the ice machine wasn't even there. It was in our shop, and he wasted time and money for these guys to go out to this place, and he had to turn them around. Because mind you, Okeechobee is an hour away from anything. Okay? Anything. Here comes 5 o'clock. My mom, at this point, she had taken me to work that morning because she wanted to use my car. So she's out in the parking lot waiting for me. She's texting me, "You're off. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, you're off. Let's go home." And I'm like still in there, like 15 past 5, right? And I'm like, this guy's still rambling on, bitching about everything. And he asks something or whatever, and then that's when he finds out that the ice machine is here, not there. He gets so mad, and he's like pissed. He wads up, like, I shit you not, a stack of papers, no lie, about that thick. Not like a pack of printer paper or anything, but like a stack of papers like that. And they're binder clipped together, a stack of papers, and he fucking chucks it. I mean, like, pew, like fucking frisbee up in this bitch. Chucks it at my head, at my face. And like, I go like this, you know, of course, to like catch it and also like bring it away from my face. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't understand what is going on. I was so in shock of what he did. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I even think about like, did I like make it up in my head? Did I exaggerate it? What did I do? But I'm like, no, I shit you not. It was a stack of papers thrown to my head. So anyways, I leave. I'm like, I'm leaving. I don't work for free. I'm leaving. Bye. So I get in the car, tell mom like why I'm holed up, and I tell her, and she's like, the fuck? Anyways, I go home. Jesse's home at that point. He's off, I think, that day or whatever. And anyways, I walk through the door. Kai, Haley's there, you know, my niece, my sister-in-law, and my mom, and Jesse's cooking dinner. And he's like, you know, how's your day? What's going on? I was like, I think I just got like assaulted, basically. You know, by a fucking piece of paper. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, he threw a pack of paper at me. And he's like, are you shitting me? And I'm like, no. Like, and I demonstrated everything he did. He's like, you're not working there anymore. Okay. So he calls the boss and he's like, yeah, Christina Reese ain't gonna work there anymore. Why? Well, and he tells him, he's like, that never happened. He's like, well, I'm just here to tell you, buddy, like, she ain't gonna be returning. Bye. So anyways, I text my friend at work. I'm like, girl, I said, I'm sorry. I said, you know, I no longer work there anymore. I said, you know, because of blank, threw pack paper at me, basically. And she's like, you know, I can't unsee it because he is like that. And I'm like, not with me, he ain't. So, job number 2, down in the fucking hole, you know? And I'm like, you know, and I'm also still struggling. We are, at this point, full on fucking struggling. We are racking up credit cards, trying to buy groceries, and pay a house payment. Let me throw this out here at you. Our house in Martinsburg, when we bought it, was $250,000. And our house payment was $1,500 with everything escrowed in. Okay, it was I rounded it up to $1,500. Okay, our house in Florida was only what, $20,000 or $30,000 more. I can't fucking math. Yeah, $30,000 more than our house in Martinsburg. So it was $280,000. Mind you, it was a little less because of our down payment and stuff like that. So it was like probably like $270, whatever. So yeah. Our house payment, with everything escrowed into it, of course, was $2,600. $2,600. And that did not include flood insurance. And flood insurance was mandatory for Florida residents, obviously. And the flood insurance was $800 twice a year. And it had to be paid up front. I can't even afford groceries. How can I afford $800 right now that I have to give? So, what? So here I am racking up credit cards, and then I'm at the point where I'm picking and choosing bills. So at this point, all the credit cards are going unpaid. The loans are going unpaid. Everything is going unpaid except for the stuff that I need. Electric, food, lights, well, I said electric, water, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that was fine. Then we got, while I was still at Trex, Trex. I work at Trex now. Anyways, I'm glad I didn't say that company's name. While I was at the refrigeration company, we were trying to make things work. So we had a 4Runner, my dream car, and a 4-wheeler. Okay, and I'm not going to be shy about these prices at all. Our Ford truck before the 4Runner had really fucked us with the amount of negative equity that transferred over into my 4Runner. So our payment on our 4Runner was like $900 and something, $930 to be exact. Our 4-wheeler payment was $120. So over $1,000 in vehicle payments. Yeah. So finally God hit me with like, hey, Dodo, why don't you do this? So I was like, why don't I just trade in my 4Runner and my 4-wheeler on a car? Well, that initially worked, but it didn't. Toyota told me that the Toyota I owed too much in the Toyota that it was impossible to trade in. But they would take my 4-wheeler. I was like, okay. What do I do about the 4Runner? Well, you can voluntarily repo it. Okay, and that was the best decision we can make up to it. So we did. I voluntarily repoed my 4Runner, and we sold them our 4-wheeler for my Toyota Camry that I have now. Mama told me before I left that Florida was known for scams. I'm thinking, well, yeah, like, it's not a big deal. I'm not dumb when it comes to scams. Like, I'm thinking, like, hey, like, if you send me $5 Apple Cash and I'm just going to send you $500 more, you just send it right back to me kind of thing, right? No, these scams were actually everyday life. Everyday life. So they said, you can't do anything about the 4Runner, but we'll give you, I think, $10,000 or $12,000 for your 4-wheeler. I was like, great, that's enough to pay it off, plus, put some down payment on the car. And that's exactly what they said. Hey, it's enough to pay your loan off with the 4-wheeler and then also put some money down on the car. What had happened is I lost my 4Runner, which, okay, it is what it is. I cried the whole way home. I never knew I could cry over a car, and I fucking did. I cried the entire way home in that fucking car. I cried the whole way home because I lost my dream car. So I had to voluntarily repo that, and then the 4-wheeler that I thought I was, we were going to get a big lump sum that put down on that car. Nope. They basically just bought it out. They didn't give us any extra money whatsoever on top of it. I walked away with that new car because, of course, I couldn't get approved for a used car because apparently it don't work like that, I walked away with that car in the 30,000s. Car. Not an SUV, not a truck. Car. I mean, I'm not talking like bottom of the barrel of Toyota. I'm not talking a Corolla. I mean, I was thinking about a Corolla. It was like $20 cheaper, but only $20 cheaper. Car. I walked away with that car. It was cheaper because we were paying over $1,000 in automobile payments. So it was cheaper. Car. I pay, shit you not, $760 a month for that fucking car that sits out there that I can't stand. $760 a month for that car. car. Yep. So, moving on. So, yeah, so we did that. And the next thing I know, I go and I try to find another job. I find another job. My third job in Florida was great. I wasn't able to stay there that long, but it was a moving company. My heart and soul is moving companies. Okay, that's what runs through my blood. So I'm like, great, it's a moving company. They were impressed because I have all my moving experience. I've worked at a lot of different moving companies. My family even owned a moving company. When I say it's in my blood, it's in my fucking blood. So they were very impressed, which, thank you. Like, I knew my shit. You didn't have to train me. I knew everything that I was doing. I just needed to get accustomed to your ways, which didn't take me long at all. I liked it there. My boss was nice. My coworker was nice. The guys were great. It's a fucking shame because literally, I think how it went was like my first day was great, and then the second day I came in and told them I'll be leaving at the end of the month because we're going back home. So, anyways, literally that's exactly what happened. Back to Jesse. Jesse was not doing well. I'm not saying he wasn't doing well at his job. He was doing phenomenal at his job. But he just mentally was not okay. He was depressed and he just couldn't hack it. I couldn't hack it. He was homesick. I was homesick. We weren't seeing each other. He didn't even enjoy his house so he couldn't enjoy his house, right? But I couldn't stay in the fucking house because I looked at the same 4 fucking walls for months. Stuck. And because I had no extra money other than going to food and dog food and cat food and shit like that, because I gotta keep everybody up afloat, we had no money to do anything. If we were having money to do so, it's because we weren't paying a bill. We would go to Vero Beach, which was an hour away. That was free other than the gas, So, so I seen the 4 walls in the house. So I hated the house while he never even got to spend time in the house. So, we talked. It was just as fast as we got brought down there. We talked and we both were like, yeah, let's go back home before we can't. So here comes, like I said, the next day. Next day, I tell these people, I'm going to stay out through the end of the month. I'm sorry. And, of course, they were bummed out. They just wasted their time on me. They could have got somebody else who was going to stay. And I felt bad, But, like I said, I helped them out for the rest of the month, got them some help. Because, obviously, you didn't need to train me. You didn't need to really do anything with me because, I knew my shit. So, within the next couple of days, they helped me out with boxes and paper and the stuff that I needed, and I was grateful for that. Truly I am. Shout out to them. Like I said, if I was calling out businesses' names, I would totally give them kudos, but I'm not going to do it because I haven't mentioned everybody else's. So that moving company was amazing, and they really did help us, and I appreciate that. So moving on to, I think I packed 3 boxes before I found out that I was pregnant again. My back hurt so bad this time. I could not. I was having Jesse stretch it, everything. I felt like I pulled my sciatic nerve. And I'm like, dude, my fucking back hurts like crazy. And Jesse was like, I guarantee you're pregnant. And I'm like, no. Sure as shit, we got a freaking pregnancy test and I was pregnant. Again, stressful time of my life. So, from the start of us knowing that we were pregnant, I was taking it completely easy because, of course, I just had 2 miscarriages, back in my life, and I just had a miscarriage in February. So, I was being very, very careful. Of course, we were moving back home with my mom, and how I told my mom and my dad, I was like, so you're okay with 2 of us moving in, but how about 3 of us, ha ha ha. She didn't get it. Until I told her. Anyways, so everybody was happy. I was watching what I was eating. I was watching what I was doing. I didn't lift a fucking finger. All I did was pack some boxes. I wasn't even packing boxes to move them or anything. I was wrapping it up on the table. Jesse was packing it in a box. Jesse was moving it. Jesse brought me this. Jesse was waiting on me hand and foot. ate everything I was supposed to eat and not eat. I was taking precautions. I was drinking water, which I always drink water anyway. And it's like, I was doing everything I could possibly do. I was eating, I mean, I'm not a vegetable person, and I was fucking eating vegetables. Like, I wasn't doing anything. So yeah, we were pregnant, we were happy, you know, like, this is why we have to go home. So, okay, moving on. Jesse was hard-headed because my dad was going to come down and help him pack the not the U-Haul, but the Penske truck. And no, Jesse was hard-headed and packed it all himself. And I tell you, all himself. He got that freaking lawnmower that my parents had bought us. Because, of course, we sold our zero turn up here, but we needed a lawnmower down there. Well, they bought us a lawnmower. So the lawnmower they just bought us, you know, of course, that should go home with us, right? So he got that lawnmower on the back of that truck without any help, and I was scared to shitless because I was like, oh my god, he's not gonna make it, he's not gonna do this, and I can't help. He got it on there. He got that whole fucking truck packed, and I'm like, whatever. Mind you, before all that, how are we gonna get home was our question. Yes, he was great. He was good to transfer back home. So that was awesome. But how are we going to get home? How are we going to buy a truck, or not buy a truck, rent a truck to go back home? And mind you, ding, 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 I have a 125-pound German Shepherd that I cannot put in the back of my car. How am I going to get him home? How am I going to get him plus my 3 ankle biters and my 2 cats and my husband home? How? So I needed to rent a car, right? So how am I going to have money to get the Penske truck and get a car to go home in? I had to do what you got to do. What you got to do. So we had a yard sale, and we got rid of half of our belongings there because so we could make it home. I mean, and I tell you what, these people were like, I mean, pennying me, man. And I'm like, I don't care. I need to make some kind of money to go home. Well, finally, thank God, his work did pay for us to go back home. The Penske truck, at least, to go back home. But I still needed to pay for the car. So, got the car, and anyways, it came for my dad to come down. I had to go pick him up at the airport, come down. All we had to do was load a couple things the next morning, and we were on the road. And we were coming home, and I just wanted to come home. He wanted to come home. I swear we both have PTSD from the drives that we had to do. So here comes 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're finally coming home to Mom's house. And I think that's why I lost the baby, honestly, was because honestly the stress of the drive and just sitting that long, it was horrendous. So I think that's why, honestly, I lost the baby. But of course, we weren't even home for full 24 hours before I lost the baby. And it was like, can't catch a break, man. So, we made our decision, of course, before we even left Florida, that we would come back home and we'd file bankruptcy. So, we got home, and here comes our start process of filing bankruptcy. Mind you, in 2 days, in 2 days, we will be back home for a year. A year. We have been back home for a year. And probably you're saying, like, why are you just now filing bankruptcy? Yeah. So, we started with a lawyer in Florida. And it worked out where I didn't have to file in Florida, so that was great. I got a job up here. I I couldn't find a job. So, of course, and I needed a job. So I went with this one job, and of course it was retail, and I couldn't bear the retail. I thought if I was like walking around so fast, like my feet wouldn't hurt, but you know, girl, I haven't worked in retail in years, and I was crying on the way home. I worked there for 2 days. I couldn't do it. So, funny tidbit though, is I got this job in orientation, but I got a call for another job. But I wouldn't have to start the one job, the retail job, until like the end of the week. But I got this call from an office job, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to quit this one job because, you know, what if this job don't work out? Thank God I did not do that, because that's what I did. I went to orientation. The next day I went to work at this one company. Did not like them. Quit, and then went to work back at this retail place. This job that I worked for at a day, not only, like, if you smoke. I don't give a fuck. That don't matter. But if I have to be in there for 8 hours a day, and literally breathe in the chain smoke that you're smoking, I can't do it, dude. My asthma will not let me do it. Allergies and asthma would not let me do it. They'll just be like, you can't breathe, bitch. You're dying. Like, I can't do it. So, not only could I not do that, this man literally brought in a fucking toilet seat. I thought he was joking, and I shit you not. It was a used toilet seat. Okay, it wasn't clean. It was used, and he had just threw this in there. Oh, it's a woman's toilet seat. It was a joke to my other coworker there. It was a joke to her. She was laughing, ha ha ha. It's very funny. And I'm like, that's just disgusting. Then he smells the toilet seat. Full on sniffs this toilet seat. I'm done. I'm out. Bye. That's what I did. I quit. They were all like in awe, and they wondered why they went through 8 people just in that year, and I was the 8th person, and just in 2023, 8 people in that position. They wondered why. That's why. Anyways, so I went to, I was stuck with my job at the retail place, right? Couldn't do it, couldn't hack it. I was like, I can't do it. So I had to quit because physically I could not physically do the job. So I got another job at a towing company, and it was okay. It was good. I cannot stand being, let me just put it to you this way. I cannot spread my wings the way I needed to spread my wings when it comes to working. And it wasn't the owner. The owner was a new owner, and he was doing fantastic with this company, and it was like he's changing it for the greater good, and these people are not letting him do that. And it's like, whatever. I had to leave anyway, so I left. Which I was planning on leaving. I was trying to find another job. I was in the process of finding another job. I had an interview lined up. Well, of course, during this process, we're also filing bankruptcy, okay? So we go with this one lawyer, okay? We get everything ready for him. We go meet with him. I pay this guy $100 for this meeting as part of our bankruptcy lump sum. I pay him $100 to talk to us, basically for him to tell us that we made too much money to file bankruptcy. Now, of course, there's 2 ways you can file bankruptcy. I'm sure there's plenty more, but this is the only 2 I know. There's Chapter 13 and Chapter 7. We want to file Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is you file bankruptcy on everything. Everything you own. Credit cards, everything. Just everything you own. And you don't pay any of it back. It just ruins your credit for 2 years, and you have to start all over again. Basically building your credit back up. So we met with him, and he said, we made too much money. And I'm like, well, Jesse doesn't, like the last 6 months of pay stubs, Jesse doesn't make what he made down in Florida anymore. He took when he came back home, he took a hell of a pay cut. So he's like, okay, well, let's wait another 3 months so it can reflect his pay now. And then I said, is it best for me not to have a job at this point? or should I still continue to work? And he said, I think it's best if you don't have a job at this point because it will help your bankruptcy case. Okay, cool. I was already going to quit this one place. I had an interview lined up, so I just had to cancel that place. It's fine. I'll be out of the job for 3 months just for this to go through. 3 months went by. May comes around. I'm like, okay, we can start filing. Like, we need to get this on the ball. Like, I want to get this fucking done. May comes around. We get the phone. Well, I call him, or Jesse calls him and said, yeah, hey, it's May. Got our pay stubs. I'm ready to go back. We're ready to file. He doesn't even remember us. Another red flag. Jesse had to tell him where our file was in his office. This guy was so not with the times either. He thought it was okay, or he thought $12 an hour around here, I live in Stevens City, Virginia now, here was $12 an hour was really good money. I don't know what the fuck time era you're in, but it ain't in 2024. Then he said we needed to get our own place because he didn't like us living with my parents. So he needed to get our own place. And the typical place around here to rent is $800 a month, and that's not bad. You're damn right that ain't bad. Where the fuck am I going to find a place to rent, not including my animals, for $800 a month? Ain't happening, Captain. Ain't happening. I don't know what the fuck error he was, like, what time period he was stuck in, but he needed to come the fuck out. So May comes around and he's like, yeah, let me go through your paperwork again, blah, 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 pay stubs, give him all the pay stubs, and basically he says, you still make too much money. How? How do we make too much money? He said, my best bet or my best offer to you is, you can file Chapter 13, which is you have to pay a lump sum back for a certain amount of years. Is to file Chapter 13, but then you wouldn't want to do that because it's going to be a set amount of money each month that you have to pay in. And if you get any more money outside of your income and whatever goes through bills and stuff, they will take that money too. This is what we're told. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to file that. I should be able to file for Chapter 7. What the fuck? We still make too much money. I shit you not. This is these exact words that goes through my head still to this day. I need to get it tattooed. I suggest Christina just get another job and start chipping away at your debt. Start chipping away at your debt. And it was pretty damn close when I got with this lawyer and I started adding all this shit up. This was an estimate and it went over this estimate. We are including both cars in the house and everything else. $400,000 in debt. Let me repeat that again. $400,000 in debt that he wanted me to just get a job and start chipping away at it. That would take my lifetime to pay off. You mean to tell me I wasted 3 months of my life that I could have had a job? That it could have been more struggling on me? What? So, needless to say, I had a panic attack. And I fucking, quit him immediately. Found another lawyer. He didn't want to help us. Just sums it all up. He just did not want to help us. He didn't want to deal with us. So, he referred us to the lawyer that we are working with now. Fucking wonderful. They had everything done in 2 seconds, it seemed. Okay? 2 seconds. Mind you, too, when we were working with this lawyer who told me to stop working, I had to pay our classes, right? And each class was $40 to $50. I had to pay for 2 of those. I didn't know I had to pay for 2 of those because I read it wrong. Apparently, you only pay for the first part and the second part, but I paid for 2 first parts. So $80 down the fucking drain. And then this lawyer group couple, whatever, our classes were included. So again, we had to take those stupid ass classes, but you have to do it anyway. You have to take the classes in order to file. So we took the classes thrice, and we're good to go. And we started filing. We filed in July. Everything was fine. He was like, yeah, Chapter 7s are easy to file. He said, you got plenty. He said, this is an easy case. He's like, yeah, sign me up for all this. This is all day long. Mind you, the amount to give him was more than the one lawyer, of course. So lawyers are expensive. But of course, where am I going to come up with the money at? So, of course, now I'm 2 months late on this car payment because, of course, I have to pay this lawyer. This lawyer is more important. So, finally, since July, everything's been filed and everything. As of today, we went to court, which was Zoom. We went to our court hearing today via Zoom. And it is official. We have officially filed bankruptcy. We don't get our official documentation until 2 more months down the road. But everything is, as of now, is off our credit. We are basically rebuilding. Our credit has been shit anyway because of all this other stuff. So it's literally just going up from here. I don't think it could go down anymore. So now it's just going up. I keep getting alerts that, my credit score is going up, blah, blah, blah. So that's great. So basically we filed bankruptcy on everything, car included, but we are keeping the car. We didn't sign for it or anything. We are keeping the car until we are allowed to break into our 401k, basically. And because I'm at the point now, I'm at that time and age where we don't give, I don't care. Jesse don't care now either. I don't give a fuck about a new car. Give me the old cars. I don't care. I'll run it until it blows up. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So basically, we are down to that where we're going to take our 401k and get 2 vehicles. No car payment. So that is our intention. That is a smart move for us. So basically, when we're going to do that, I just call the bank for our car and say, come get the car. And that doesn't go on our newfound building credit because that car is already technically filed bankruptcy on. So that is what is going on. A whole hour and 30 plus minutes. You've been listening to me ramble on about what's been going on with us in the last 2 years. And that is what's been going on with us. Is we officially filed for bankruptcy today. Like everything is officially gone through. We are simply just waiting on documentation. Yeah, that is it. We've nearly never prevented trying to get pregnant anyway, ever since we got married. So it's not on our to-do list, but if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't, it's fine. I am not looking to get pregnant anytime soon. I'm coming up on that age where I don't want to have my kids in my 30s, and I am staring at 30 in the face. It's my preference. Honestly, right now, we're not financially ready for it either, and that's not fair to that kid, and I'm not doing that, so I'm pretty ecstatic with not having a baby. We did just welcome 2 more niece and nephews to our family. 1 niece, 1 nephew. So we have a lot of nieces and nephews. I'm good with them. But yeah, so that's been our shit show for the last 2 years of our life. Now we're just trying to get back up on our feet. And of course, I couldn't work. I haven't been working. So it's been really rough. So definitely a extended sorry to our families and our friends and family. But we simply did not have money. I mean, we don't have money. We barely have money to cover the bills that we have now that we have to have for this bankruptcy, or that we had to have for this bankruptcy to go through. Like, I haven't paid my father rent in 3 months. And when I tell you we owe my parents everything. We owe them everything. And they have been so supportive through this whole process, and I could not thank them enough. Yeah, they are literally our saving grace. And now that I'm officially working, because Jesse got hurt, unfortunately, diving off of a diving board, he got hurt and got put out of his new job for a month. So yeah, a month with no money, yay. A month with no money. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'm just going to go ahead and start applying for jobs, so that way after today I can officially start, having a job. Well, my job now at Trex has been, it was given to me like literally last week. I'm grateful for it. Or the week before last. They were like, we need somebody to start like this Friday. And I'm like, dude, I can't start until after the 21st. And they were like, I don't know if this is going to work. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. So they were like, well, we need somebody to start the Monday, which was what, the 12th? Yeah, the 12th. I'm like, I have to talk to my lawyer. I don't know if that's, if this is going to be okay or not okay or what, if I should just wait. Anyways, because Jesse was off and, no money income or anything like that, it was okay. And plus I wasn't making like $45,000 an hour or something, But yeah. Me and my husband both work now at the same company. So he works in manufacturing and I work in corporate. I like it so far. Definitely a difference. Definitely different. So different from what I'm used to, but it's good. It's good. He loves it too. His demeanor has changed so much. He is so happier, so mentally healthier. He is so he's on top of the world to me, if you know Jesse was definitely an alcoholic. He stopped drinking. I wouldn't say completely. I think the last time he had a drink was when he visited his parents over a month ago. His birthday, so yeah, over a month ago. And he had 2 drinks then. Before that, he didn't have a drink since he started this job, which was June. His color in his face has come back. Like, he's not so red in the face anymore. His face is clearing up from his acne and stuff. He's losing weight and he's gaining muscle, of course, because he's just, I don't know, he's just happier. He's so much healthier and I love it. Like, I love it so much. And we are definitely happy to be home. Florida was not okay for us. Definitely want to go back and visit. If you plan on visiting Florida, Florida is great. It's a beautiful state. It's so clean. It's the cleanest state I've ever been to. The beaches were beautiful. I would love to went to Disney World. It's still on my bucket list, but I don't think we'll do that again. If we move to a different state, we will definitely have a camper first. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, like it's been definitely a freaking roller coaster, and I'm officially not ashamed anymore. That to say that we filed bankruptcy and we are starting completely over. We are starting completely over, and honestly, I do not regret any of it at all. I do not regret any of this at all. This has been such a learning experience. I have learned so much about me, about others, about money, about everything, to the point where I don't want this to ever happen again, and I hope and pray to God that this never happens again. But my parents filed twice. You never know what happens medically wise or anything like that. But like, we'll never do this again. I can say never now, but intentionally never want this to happen again. I've learned so much. He's learned so much. And even like from moving to Florida and shit, like we have changed so much. We've learned more about each other more in the last 2 years than the last 7 years of our marriage. We have come so much closer together. Jesse manned up. Jesse was a man when I met him, but he became more of a man that I needed and that he needed to be. And I became more of a woman than I was, and I'm grateful for it. Honestly, like, this experience, as much as it's been hell on fucking earth, I am grateful for the opportunity. And I'm not saying that it's okay to file bankruptcy to rack up your fucking debt and file bankruptcy and do it all again. I'm not saying that by any freaking means necessary. But I am truly grateful for this experience, for this opportunity, even too, because, like I said, my perspective has changed on every aspect. I don't care about a new car. I don't give a fuck about a new phone. I don't want it. That's why we dusted off those DVDs, y'all. I don't even want to pay for Netflix anymore. I'm sure shit don't want to pay for Netflix anymore, but I am this close from getting an MP3 player and going back to the flip phones, not the old school flip phones, but I'm talking about the slide up phones with the keyboard. I'm this close about it, but that's not gonna happen. But honestly, I don't want to spend my money on it. I'm back into, you guys know I'm goofy when it comes to I like Barbies and shit like that, and I would love Barbies for the rest of my life. Where I sold all my Barbies, I don't regret it, but I do. But now I'm at the point where it's I'm collecting again, but I'm not collecting things that I don't want. I'm collecting for a Barbie house in my head. I'm collecting I am hitting up those clearance racks. If they are not $5 and under, I don't want it. So I'm trying to be more responsible that way. No. Yeah, just Jesse, he is more mature now. He, his boom boom stick that he wanted for hunting season, he traded in 2 or 3 of his boom boom sticks. 2 or 3 for the one he wanted. So, that was a big change for Jesse, because Jesse would have kept them all, So, it was great. It's been great. It's been a ride. It's been an up and down roller coaster, and yeah, that's what's been going on with us. If you've lasted for this whole an hour and 46 minutes, you are the absolute best. I hope new people, older people, young people, strangers to us, not strangers to us, best friends, no best friends, family, whoever you are watching this, I hope you learn from our mistakes. I hope you remember us when it comes to certain things in your life, and you're that Christina girl said not to do this because it happened this way to her. I don't think I'll do that. I hope you guys learn from this. For those that were just curious, yeah, that's what's been happening. That's what's been going on. But yeah, now I finally got him to the point where, life is precious, life is short, and I want to go places. I don't want the shit anymore. I want to go places. We want, of course, what we want is property. We want lots of property, which is great, fantastic. We both agree on that. But I don't even want, I want my house back in Martinsburg, but whatever. I just want, a little 3-bedroom house. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't even give a fuck if it's a trailer. Put me in a freaking double wide. I don't care. I really don't. But yeah. There's so much more to life than freaking making money and spending money. How about we make the money and spend the money on memories that we're going to take with us beyond the grave? I am saving. I literally, I've had a bucket list my whole entire life, and now it's finally coming out where it's on paper, where Jesse knows my bucket list, and we're collaborating with his bucket list, and we want to do this and this and this. I don't give a fuck about buying the new phone. I don't. So, as a celebration of our bankruptcy, of course, my hair needs to be cut so bad. So I'm gonna cut my hair. I'm gonna treat myself to a little hair cut and some dye because it needs to be blonde again, or blonde streaks, blonder. But yeah, I think our treat is, I was thinking about, because me and Jesse have never had a vacation by ourselves ever. We never had a honeymoon, never. We've never been on vacation by ourselves. So I was really thinking, because again, in February, it'd be 7 years, I was really thinking about taking him on his first cruise, as also like a, hey, you deserve this. Like, you got out of it, you made it through, you're being smart about things. This is going to be your honeymoon 7 years later kind of thing. Like, everything all in one kind of thing. But I hope you definitely learned something. I hope you stayed this long. That would be the world to me if you guys stayed this long. I'm trying to go to 2 hours, just make it even. Why not? But yeah. I mean, there's been some other things that's been going on, but it's a little too personal. But this was as outspoken as I can get. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for going on this roller coaster with me. And if you cried with me even, like, I thank you for that too. But yeah, that is all I have. That is all I have. Today was the official day, and we are done. We are just waiting on paperwork to come in the mail. And we're done. But we have officially filed bankruptcy, and we are officially starting our lives over again, and honestly, it feels great. So if you're thinking about filing bankruptcy because you absolutely have to, and you feel alone or embarrassed or ashamed of yourself, believe me, I've been in your shoes. I've been in those feelings before, and I promise it's if you're in debt up to your ears like we were, and you truly need to get out, and you're filing bankruptcy because you have no other place to turn, it is okay, and it's okay. Like, it is okay. It is okay. It's okay to start over again. It is okay to crumble down and start all over again. It's okay to rebuild yourself back up. It is okay. The feeling, kids are screaming, the feeling of, bruh, these kids with temper tantrums today. Anyways, the little girl just went down screaming down the road and saying, I hate you. Anyways, moving on. If you truly need to do this, do not feel ashamed. I mean, I know I'm just speaking out my ass at this point, but you will get through it. We got through it. My mom and dad got through it, so we can get through it. We got through it. It's okay. Like, hang in there. Keep going. Don't let it get you down either. It's money. Money ain't shit. Money is not everything. Money ain't shit. Granted, you need money to even fucking do anything, and I understand that. Money ain't shit. The only thing in this life that you have to take to your grave is your health. Spend your money on the health. Spend your money on your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. Spend the money on your health. Be in a healthy relationship. Be in a healthy food relationship. Be in a healthy mental relationship. I don't fucking know. Be healthy in your mind. Be healthy with your finances. Be healthy with it all. I mean, look at me. I am fat and I'm healthy. I'm just kidding. No, I'm fat, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like, it all starts here. So, anyways, all right, there's too many kids in the background now, so I gotta click off and say deuces, everybody. Thanks for listening. And remember, you can do it. I promise. If we can do it, you can do it. Bye, y'all.